Show. This is welcome to 2022 with the John and Wendy Show. Interesting. You using everything that I'm using right now. Just got a new mixer, got a new audio thing, so I'm just kind of putting it all together. But excited to be back with the John and Wendy Show. We got great new graphics. Thanks to the incredible Tushka from Tushka Productions. We're also going to have some new audio, new video stuff coming up here as we go forward here on the show. But I am one half of the John and Wendy Show. The lesser half, I am the outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by my better half on this show, Wendy Lee. It's 2022. We're in the third week, if you can believe it, and we're back. How are you?
I am doing so good. I actually just got off a stream and finally beat Little Nightmares 2. It's a little horror game with a very interesting story at the end. It makes you think. So believe you me, I will be looking up explanation videos to find out the real meaning of the ending. But no, it's good. I can't believe January is already almost over.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy, but it's, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, if you say so. We're
still in a pandemic, so like this year can just go. It's fine too.
Is that what the kids are saying now? They're just taking the C off the pandemic.
It's how Steph Sabra says it, and now it's caught on.
That makes sense. I love Steph.
She's great. She's one of the best.
Thank you to Zach Mendoza and MK Songbird for joining us, and anybody that's going to be joining us here as we go along through the show here. And of course, it'll be up later on YouTube after we've done it here live on Twitch. But we're excited to jump into so many topics, talk in the world of entertainment, get into some what's trending, and of course, talk K-pop corner, which is a staple of this show for sure. As we go along, if you want to send in bits, please feel free to do so. Send in some support, send in some love. If you got some Streamlabs to send in, the address is right there, right above your head, right above our heads, right there in the middle somewhere. There we go. Yeah, right there. So you can send in the Streamlabs. I'll be monitoring that as wanting support for me and Wendy as we go along and do the show. We're going to try to keep it to 1 hour as well. So not too much of your time, but enough to entertain you and satisfy you and inform you. All right, Wendy Lee, where shall we go?
Well, I hate to kick off our, 2022 season with a little bit of a downer, but I really do feel like we ought to talk about this. So this morning, it's a double hitter, and I don't like it. Louie Anderson has passed away. He's a comedian, Emmy winner at the age of 68. Really not that old.
Yeah.
Really not that old.
No,
unfortunately passed away Friday morning in Las Vegas, where he had been in a hospital this week for a treatment of diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, which is a form of cancer. Yeah. And this is coming from his longtime publicist, Glenn Schwartz, who reported that to Deadline in the announcement. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not just a one-time Emmy winner, it's a 3-time Emmy winner, and it always makes me feel like the world's a little, more dim when we lose a talented individual.
Yeah, very sure.
Yes.
Very true. I mean, we also lost him and Meatloaf, which I'm sure we'll get into as well. So devastating losses to start the new year for sure. I will say this. Louie Anderson, one of my favorite comics, bar none. I mean, he's one of these guys I discovered at a formative age who I just really enjoyed his honesty. I really enjoyed how vulnerable he was about his life and about his upbringing. Plus, as a guy who struggled with his weight and still kind of struggles with his weight in my own journey, I've always felt a connection to him and his ability to kind of make light of it and play with it and joke around about it and not take it so seriously. It kind of helped me at times. And then going forward, Life with Louie, his sitcom he did on CBS as well, the animated one. And then, of course, him popping up in numerous films and TV shows, even recently in Baskets being an Emmy winner, as you said, but also Search Party, which we are halfway through the fourth season of Search Party. We have blazed through that show in the last 4 days, just tearing it apart. And seeing him come in the third season was so awesome, Wendy. So just a shame to lose any comedian and a shame to lose someone so young. And for 68 nowadays, it's young, 68. Yeah. And so just a painful reminder that life is short and 2022 is taking no effing prisoners to start the year, for God's sake.
Betty White.
Yes.
Meatloaf, Louie Anderson.
Peter Bogdanovich.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Thanks, 2022.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what? If January's going to fly by, just let it fly. It's fine. It's
Good
fine.
point. Good point.
Yeah. Mr. Mike Shea in the chat says, as an overweight comedian myself, Louie Anderson helped shape my career from an
Mm,
early age. I
yeah,
feel like a lot of people can, relate to that.
absolutely.
Not just fellow comics, but people find his work relatable, or just him
Yeah.
as a person inspiring and relatable. And it's always sad when we lose a little bit of that spark. So I just felt that it was important to, not to make it like a downer right off the bat,
No,
but I
no.
felt it was important to address this right at the top
Right. And
before
with
we move
me,
on to other things.
yeah, with Meatloaf, we lost him as well, 74 years old. I have a friend of mine who works in the music business. She was texted last night that there was an impending announcement this morning,
Oh,
and this was the announcement that was coming. The person wouldn't reveal the name to my friend, but he said someone famous is going to pass away this morning. We know who it is. It's going to be announced, and here it is. It's Meatloaf. As I
oh,
said, 74
wow.
years old. He had COVID. He was not vaccinated, which is heartbreaking to hear. We don't know if that's officially the cause of death, but certainly it probably did not help to have
Mhm,
a weakened
mhm.
immune system dealing with something like this. And of course, another performer who has struggled with his weight or made light of his weight or made it work for him. And I think it's powerful in this day and age when people are so into the body shaming thing to have two men of size be able to succeed in their respective fields to the level that they did. And of course, so many great music, Paradise by the Dashboard Light, all through the 70s, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Fight Club, numerous other shows and movies that he's popped up in. And of course, I Would Do Anything for Love, Wendy, one of my karaoke staples. I don't know about you, but that's one of the best songs ever made.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's just, it's first of all, like, body shaming still a thing in
Yeah, sadly so.
2022?
Yeah,
What in the heck, man?
Wendy.
What in the
I love
heck?
it. I love it.
How is that still a thing?
Yeah, and he lost his collaborating partner last year, Jim Steinman, who had written a lot of those rock opera ballads that you like
Bad
to
Outta
probably
Hell?
yeah, Bad Out of Hell, exactly, Bad Out of Hell 2. All of that, he was a big part of Jim Steinman, and Meatloaf said when Jim passed away last year, "I'm probably going to pass away very soon because we are so connected. We're not brothers, we're not friends. I am him and he is I." And
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so he's felt like I would be going to join him soon, and maybe, who knows, maybe
Maybe that
he
was
walked his path and this is the time to leave, so just a shame to have a 1-2 punch, Wendy, to start
yeah, I
this day
know.
for sure.
Same day announcement.
Yeah,
Ugh,
tough,
awful.
tough,
Really
tough.
terrible.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to some happier stuff. And as I said, please remember the Streamlabs are open and send in some bits to support what we're doing here and having some fun back in 2022 with the John and Wendy show. And yes, Mike
Mhm.
Shea, his name was Robert Paulson. That's right, from Fight Club there. Bob,
Yeah.
Bob had bitch tits. All right, let's move on. Where shall we go?
Let's talk a little Batman. Let's talk a little Battinson. This is one of many people's most anticipated films
Oh
of
my God.
2022. And very recently, the director Matt Reeves came out and announced the runtime for this movie, which is going to be at a spicy 2 hours and 55 minutes, making it the longest runtime for a solo Batman film. I believe the previous longest running Batman movie was The Dark Knight Rises at 2 hours and 40 some minutes, 44, 45 minutes.
Goodness.
And this beats it by an extra 10. And from everything that we've seen so far,
Yeah.
posters, scenes, clips, trailers, I am so satisfied to hear that it's going to be 2 hours and 55 minutes. Excessive? Not at all. I am ready for it. I am ready for it. I'm going to have to train myself, just like
Yeah.
how I trained myself for the Avengers, which I do not recommend, is to not hydrate throughout the day. So I don't have to run to
Oh,
the bathroom.
that's how you,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. The
I
ladies.
hardcore did that, and it's
Yeah.
not healthy. I do not recommend.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, this is 2 hours and 47 minutes, 2 hours and 55 minutes with credits is kind of crazy to think about for the Batman. I mean, Wendy, this is just mind blowing to think about the fact that this is going to be the first in a possible trilogy here, which it's been the rumor that they're setting up here and starting out with a 2-minute 2 hour 55-minute movie is just insane. I mean, people were so mad about Eternals being 2 hours and 40 minutes, but here we go with an origin story of this character. I think people would be more up in arms if the trailers weren't incredible, if the imagery, if the announcements, everything, all the hype around it hadn't gotten people excited for this. I think the 2 hours and 55 minutes runtime would freak people out. But now that they love what they've seen so far, I think for the most part, people like, give it to me as much as you can, and then we'll see if they've earned their runtime after we see the movie. And remember, this is PG-13 as well, Wendy. They released that as well. It is not going to be R, as some people might have been anticipating. It is going to be PG-13, like every other Batman movie that's been released from PG to PG-13. So I'm a little down about that because R-rated movies do make money. Joker made over $1 billion, but I understand they want to get as many people as possible into the theater to see this. What do you think about the rating as well?
I mean, I would love to see eventually an R-rated Batman movie, but I feel that the studios, and maybe for, how they do like testing and they have like group tester or whatever testing groups that, get an opinion of like, would you, have seen this if it was rated R? And sometimes those ratings, it's not really that important to me,
right?
Especially like, it's kind of like R rating. Okay, I have an understanding of this is like, I'm not triggered easily by certain ratings, unless it's like unnecessary gore just for like whatever, and it's garbage and it doesn't serve the plot, then it's kind of like, okay, well, this is just unnecessary, but I'm not going to not see a movie because of it. I'll just be like, well, it's but I think they do have this thought of, if it's not rated R, we will get more butts in seats because you can get the younger folk can come in with their parents or guardians and they can see in this movie, versus if you make it rated R, they might be losing out on some tickets already in a pandemic. So I don't think, though, I think this is, even though it's PG-13, it is still going to be as dark and as gritty as we're going to get. I don't believe any of the Christopher Nolan Batmans were rated R either.
No. All Batmans have been rated either PG-13 or PG. They've none of them are on R.
Yeah. So I think I have faith in the team that's behind this film to make it as dark and gritty as they can while still getting away with, it being under PG-13. Because if you take a look at The Dark Knight with the Joker, with Heath Ledger, and like the pencil through the eye and everything, sometimes you don't really need to see it. All you need to do is hear it and see the motion of it, and you understand. And the human brain and our imagination can take care of the rest. Like message delivered. So eventually, I think one day I would like to see, more rated R superhero films. I like Deadpool was a great decision to make it rated R, because like then it wouldn't be a true Deadpool if it wasn't rated R. Exactly. But I think Batman can get away with it being a hard PG-13.
Yeah, good point. I like this. Smithy says, if they just made theater seats into toilet seats with built-in bidets, we could have 7-hour movies. That's certainly a possibility. And Zach Mendoza saying, Hoyt Andrew made a point that Batman comics aren't typically rated R. He doesn't kill. You don't need the gore. No. Batman doesn't kill, but the Joker kills, the Penguin kills, the Riddler kills, Ra's al Ghul kills, Black Mask kills. So yes, you don't need it rated R on the Batman side of things, but if you're going to go as dark as they're going in these trailers, which look very Seven, reminiscent of Seven from David Fincher, reminiscent of The Crow, then the R rating for both of those films, I think, applies as a possibility for this film. So yeah, Batman isn't R rated, but certainly his villains have been R rated in the comics and in other areas, and included animated series. Some of those animated films include some pretty gruesome things. If you watch Flashpoint, that's an R-rated film. Yes, it's the Flash movie, but there's a lot of decapitation and death in Flashpoint. So it does happen. So yes, in one side, Coy is right that the Batman isn't R-rated, but Batman's villains certainly are. So I think that's where people, I think we're hoping for a bit more there. in the end. So we shall see. Oh boy, Smithy, yikes. Yeah,
Don't
I'm
say
not
that out
putting that
loud.
one on the Smithy.
Yeah.
But we've also got a theme, right, Wendy, from Michael Giacchino.
Yes, we do. And he gave it a little tease, like a little sneak peek of
Mhm.
him, working with the orchestra. But it's now officially revealed. The finished version is now, I believe, on Spotify, or you can go on Twitter and just
Yeah.
if you just find Michael Giacchino's tweets, you will find it there. And it is music to my ears. It's just got this even if you don't know Batman, it gives you that vibe of, like, something imposing,
Yeah.
dark, maybe some sort of dark figure standing in the rain. That's the feel that I got.
Mhm, mhm.
And, Giacchino has such a way with music, and the more and more I get to know of his work and seeing some of obviously, the older work
Yeah.
is great, but the more and more work he gets, with different projects, you just can tell how creative he
Yeah.
is, and he really understands the property that he is writing the music for,
Yeah.
and it really comes across.
Clearly. And I think he's, I don't make a correlation between him and John Williams. I think the more correlative connection is Hans Zimmer. Giacchino, in a way, becoming the new Hans Zimmer, this generation's Hans Zimmer, with his ability to score like The Incredibles, recently Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange. He's going to be doing Thor, Love and Thunder, and Jurassic World Dominion. And he's done smaller films as well. So he's able to kind of bring his talent he's done Star Trek films. He's able to bring his
Yeah.
talent to all these different franchises, but also into the smaller films that don't require quite as much of the pulsating or the dread or the doom that you hear in his score. And yeah, if you guys haven't heard it, it is available, as Wendy said. You can go to Twitter and go to Michael Giacchino or Matt Reeves's Twitter account, and they've linked to the audio, the theme there that you can listen to. And, I'm excited about this as much as I was. Maybe this is the first time, Wendy, I've been this excited to hear an entire score for a superhero film since Man of Steel, with what Hans
Yeah.
Zimmer did with Man of Steel, which I think is every bit as good as whatever John Williams did with the original 1978. I believe that. Maybe people get mad at me, but that score is incredible. So I'm hoping when I walk out of the theater, I have the same feeling and go and buy that thing right afterwards.
Absolutely agree. And a quick shout out to the chat. Thank you so much to Colossus FN for donating so many bits.
Oh, wow.
All the bits. All the bits. 1,000 bits. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1,500
Wow.
bits. Thank you so much. John and I are working to continue to set up alerts and stuff like that on Twitch. So we will eventually you guys will see.
Yeah, I'm at
And so
school.
all the bits.
She's taking me to school figuring out OBS so that we can start having the audio cues on these bits and on these subscriptions and on these all the stuff that we have. So trust me, it will happen. It will happen. I'm working on it daily to try to get better at all this stuff on Twitch, because I do want to make a very concerted effort to have a great stuff on our show. But yeah, thank you so much to Colossus FN. Much love to you. All right, Wendy, and remember the Streamlabs super chats are open. So if you're sending in the Streamlabs, let us know. I am checking it and looking at it as we go along. So where are we off to next, Wendy?
We actually got some breaking news. Thank
Oh.
you so much to MK Songbird for dropping that in the
Okay.
chat. I dropped it in our show notes, Rocha, if you want to take a look.
Yep.
This is breaking news, an exclusive coming from the Hollywood Reporter.
Oh.
One of my favorite working actresses today, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, has joined the cast of Ahsoka.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
I know. So yeah,
Okay.
she's about to punch it to hyperspace.
No doubt.
So here it says on the article, the actress has joined the budding cast of Ahsoka, the next Star Wars live-action series gearing up to go into production at Lucasfilm and Disney+. We have Rosario Dawson, obviously. She is going to be starring as the main character, Ahsoka Tano. We also know that we have Hayden Christensen, who was reported to be reprising the role of Anakin Skywalker. And we also have Natasha Liu Bordizzo, who is playing Sabine, and maybe possibly Mina Masood playing Ezra. That's yet to be confirmed.
Yeah.
So that's all rumors, but this is a great addition. We don't know who she's playing as of yet. Plot details, her character, all completely being kept private. Naturally so, because first of all, you don't hire Mary Elizabeth Winstead to be on a cast and give her a minor character. So she could be a new character. She could be a brand new character that we meet along the way, which I would 100% love. I know people like to see, other characters from Legends or other, Star Wars shows or storylines appear, but I wouldn't mind it if she played a brand new character. One of the other things I was thinking that she maybe play, but it's not really making sense in my head, even though I'm not doing casting for Disney, is she could maybe play Hera Syndulla. But I think if they've got
Ooh.
Vanessa Marshall available to play Hera Syndulla, then they should just let Vanessa Marshall do it. That's just my thinking.
You
That's
know
just
what?
me.
I'm reaching out right now to a friend of mine, to Laura Kelly, who's the Star Wars, my co-host on the Jedi Way, to ask her who she might think Mary Elizabeth Winstead is playing in Ahsoka. And as you said, Hera Syndulla, my mind went, yep, that makes all kinds of sense for that to be a possibility. I could totally see her in the Twi'lek look. I could totally, the voice is kind of similar to what Vanessa Marshall has done. So both brunettes. So, I mean, I think there's a correlation here that could really work. Seeing her as Hera Syndulla would be fantastic, to be honest with you. I'm kind of excited about this because I felt she was a bit shortchanged as the Huntress in Birds of Prey. I just wanted more.
Yes.
And I've always been a Mary Elizabeth Winstead fan from like before Scott Pilgrim. I was a fan of her. And so to see her kind of embracing now being a part of these franchises a little bit later in her career is great. So I'm excited for her bank account, for her life. So all of it makes a lot of sense, and she's a great talent. So to see her stepping in to play this character or another character in the Ahsoka series is exciting. And I mean, the combination of her and Rosario Dawson, that's a hell of a one too.
I have a theory,
along with Natasha Liu, of course. Go ahead.
My theory is, and please let me know, John, as well as the chat, because I don't remember this. Do we know if Ventress has survived?
Ooh, Asajj Ventress.
Because if you look at her bone structure and her face structure and her body type, I can 100% see her as a Ventress as well.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that. And she's been doing Kate, that film that was released on Netflix a few months ago, she was kick-ass in that film. The film was okay, but she was kick-ass in it. Plus the work she's done as Huntress. So clearly she's got the training. She's staying sharp. She's staying on top of it. So having her kind of the head shaved and the two lightsabers, I mean, I could see Asajj Ventress. That could be a lot of fun with Mary Elizabeth Winstead as well. I'm excited. And she is with Ewan McGregor. So when
did that happen? Has that been a thing?
Yeah, it's been a while. They've been together for a little bit. He divorced his wife, and apparently they met on the set of Fargo. And remember season 3, I think they were together, or season 2, they were together. And that kind of blossomed from there. So they've been together for a little bit. So kind of interesting to bring her on. Will she? I mean, I don't think. Right, Mara Jade's not alive, so
wait.
Is Mara Jade alive? Well, guys, help me out on this because everything's going all over the place. Is
Mara Jade was? I think she might be alive.
Yeah.
I think she might be alive.
So Asajj is dead by this point. So she
so there's no way.
Yeah, so sorry about that, but certainly the possibility. Maybe I think Mara Jade I believe Mara Jade is dead by the time we get to Kenobi, because I think she was during the Clone Wars. So right, or maybe not. I don't know.
Wait, my timeline.
Yeah, let's see. Mara Jade.
But okay, Ahsoka is set. 5 years after Return of the.
So she died, and Mara Jade died at 40.
I'm trying to remember.
After the Battle of Yavin, so 40 ABY. That's when she died. So she only lived like 23 years. She was born in 17 before. Oh, okay. Sorry. She died. She was 7. Okay. All right. Interesting. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe
potentially that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
They brought in Mara Jade.
Yeah. I wonder. And Laura is saying actually she'd be about the right age for Hera Syndulla. So
General Hera
Possibilities.
Syndulla.
Possibilities.
She'd be a general by now, I think,
Yeah,
maybe.
she would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Yeah. I
Like the
feel a little bad for Vanessa Marshall, though, like, capable actor.
This is the game, ladies
I
and gentlemen.
know,
It's
I
rare
know,
when you cross over. I mean, Tia
I
Safar is
know.
not gonna get to do.
No, but Katie Sackhoff gets to do,
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
yeah, and I think that's so awesome, like, we
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Katie, so
But Katie's
great.
already been established in front of the camera. She had kind of moved over.
Starbuck.
Yeah, Starbuck, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. Smithy says, oh no, sorry. Travis Earl says, Wendy, you have amazing headphones. So we love
Thanks, little cat ears. These are my streaming headphones, so I don't have to set up it. I don't have to give up an extra, USB slot for a microphone because it's just
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I
included.
love it. There
Thanks.
we go. All right. Well, there was a breaking news on that. Don't see any Streamlabs through, but and no bits that have come through recently. So let's keep moving on to our next thing here. Wendy, what do we got?
Let's talk a little bit about the MonsterVerse. So Apple TV Plus has landed the Godzilla and Titans series that is based on Legendary's MonsterVerse. So now we're so used to seeing these Titans on the big screen, all the Godzilla movies, all the way to Godzilla versus Kong. And now it looks like there's a massive deal that expands on the Legendary's MonsterVerse. And Apple TV Plus has ordered a whole new live action series featuring Godzilla and the Titans. And this is going to be really interesting because, like, how have no one thought to, I don't know, maybe their deals have been in talks before, but now it's
Maybe.
actually becoming a more tangible thing. And I love that it's Apple TV Plus, because when I think MonsterVerse series, my head kind of goes straight to Netflix for some reason.
Okay.
I think, okay,
All right.
Netflix, but like, don't sleep on Apple TV Plus. There's tons of excellent shows on Apple TV Plus, but I think something like this has been missing from their library. So that makes me really, really excited. So the series will be produced by Legendary TV and executive produced by co-creators Chris Black, who's also going to serve as a showrunner, as well as Matt Fraction, alongside Safe House Pictures' Joby Harold and Tori Tunnel, and Toho Limited Hiro Matsuoka and Takemasa Arita, who will also executive produce for Toho, who is the owners of the Godzilla, like the characters, and they own the license for it as well. So naturally, Toho would be very much involved in it. I like that the MonsterVerse will be shown in a series because I think that can give us a longer story arc and more ways to like explore these monsters, and maybe we'll focus more on like the Titans and the kaijus as opposed to like the humans, because they always do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I thought this movie was called Godzilla versus Kong. Why are we talking about humans? And I know the monsters can't speak, so you need the humans to kind of exposition for us, but still.
It's fascinating when you look at this because, I watched the new, was a new trailer for the one with Adam Scott on Apple TV.
Gosh.
The Convergence or the Remove, whatever it is. Severance.
Yes.
Severance.
I was going to call it Servant, and I was like, that's wrong. It's on Apple TV Plus, but that's the wrong show.
But they've been moving towards like the futuristic stuff, like Foundation, this show, and then it's the Invasion show, and then there was the one that I just saw, Swan Song, which if you haven't seen is absolutely excellent with Mahershala Ali, and there's futuristic stuff. So these futuristic ideas. So this idea of the Titans coming in, it's always felt a little futuristic, a little sci-fi. So actually, it kind of does make sense, and I bet they're going to lay the groundwork with some very interesting human characters and human storylines, and veer a little bit more away from the kind of let's show as many fights as possible on the screen type approach with the Titans, and maybe even give us a little bit more background on the Titans, a little more the history of the Titans, maybe less of the Monarch stuff, and a little more of another direction they can go in. Because, I mean, these films have been the law of diminishing returns in terms of box office, in terms of critical consensus around them, and what have you. So it's not like this is a thriving franchise. They've got to find ways to expand it. I love the people involved here, Chris Black, but also Matt Fraction.
What?
So many of us enjoying the Hawkeye run from him in the comics, and then seeing him be a part of what they did in the live action version of it. So seeing his point of view, his unique sarcasm and kind of world weariness attitude brought to this series excites me on a lot of levels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be, this is just recently announced. So
Mm.
obviously there's no plot details. All we know that the Titans and Godzilla are involved in it.
Yeah.
So, but I assume that it will be relevant still to all the previous films. It'll
Yeah.
have to fit somewhere in that line because then when they go and make the next Godzilla versus or Godzilla whatever film, it can't
Right.
be so it can't create so much canon that it doesn't make the movie make sense, the
Yeah.
next movie.
Mhm.
But, this is exciting for me. I
Yeah.
think we haven't had in the US Godzilla shows for a
Right.
long time.
Agreed.
And I think before when we used to get them, it was just like imported from Japan, right?
Yes,
Like the older
basically.
ones. Yeah.
That's
So
what I remember.
I think we're
Um,
in for a treat.
Smithy makes an excellent point. Also, the Tom Hanks film, the robot movie,
Oh yeah,
futuristic
yeah.
Finch, that was also on Apple TV for sure. I like what Apple TV Plus is doing, and I've been considering doing a weekly show that either covers or highlights or talks about Apple TV stuff that's happening. It seems to be speaking my language. Netflix is all over the place. Paramount Plus is really limited to a few shows. If you're a RuPaul person, that's your place to go, or Star Trek, that's your place to go. Amazon Prime is immensely unnavigable, and Hulu
There's
is
Hulu.
grabbing just NBC stuff and putting it over. So but Apple TV seems to be speaking my language. So don't be surprised if I launch something new here that is Apple TV motivated on the Outlaw Nation channel, because I like their
Rocha
feeds.
TV Plus.
No, it would be Outlaw Nation Plus. Outlaw TV
Outlaw Nation Plus.
coming up this month. Anyway, oh yeah, no, let's the less said about MacGruber, the better, Travis. I'm not a MacGruber person.
Oh man.
All right. Ted Lasso, For All
Ted Lasso,
Mankind.
For
That's right.
Mankind,
Those were all great.
Foundation, Servant. Yeah.
Yeah, some great stuff. All
Mhm.
right, Wendy, where are we off to next? And please keep sending in your
A new
Streamlabs.
segment.
Let's do
A
it
new
here. It
segment
sounds like what you're saying is
for
it's time for what's
trending. Bow. We don't have theme music.
yeah, there it is. There it is. I got a new
We're gonna
mixer.
just do our own theme music.
We've got to. We've got to.
Yeah. So YouTube can't YouTube or Twitter. It's 100%.
Yeah.
Within the DMCA law because we're just making random sounds out
They
of our
can't mess around
mouths.
with it. That's right. That's right.
What's
What do we got?
trending? Oh my gosh, so much. Let's get into K-pop corner because it's like I haven't talked to you about K-pop in like a month.
Yeah, let's do it. Go ahead.
It's been way too long. So there was a couple of new new groups, new songs are popping up like daisies. I can't keep up with them. But a few that have been in my head that I really wanted to introduce. Rocha 2 is
Okay.
by these are two girl groups. Fourth generation K-pop is coming up strong. Everybody's so friggin' talented. They're
Yeah.
good. Like, usually in a K-pop group, like the construction of the group is like you have the visual, you
Mhm.
have the main dancer, you have the main vocal, you have the main rapper. And right now, when all these groups come up, they're strong in all the fields. They can all dance and sing and rap. And they
Right.
look fantastic. And I'm just like, how are you even human? So one of the first songs that I introduced Rocha to is by the group IVE, and they have a song called 11.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You make me feel like an 11, and then they bite the 7 in their choreography, which I think it's super, super cute. And the next group, and I believe they're called Kepler 1 or just Kepler. They have a song called Wadada Wadada. And
Okay.
this is an interesting group because this was a group that was created via. So in Korea, they
Mhm.
have a lot of competition reality shows
Yeah.
that are called like Produce 101, Produce 48, where they literally have like that many contestants. And then
Right.
they narrow it down and they put the girls through, or guys through different stages of tests, vocal, dance, personality, because like, you're an idol, so you have to be comfortable in front of camera and like, does your personality mesh with this group and whatnot. And so let me see if I can pull it up for Kepler 1 produced because I can't remember what the show was called.
Mhm.
But that group has 9 members
Wow.
and they
Yes.
were on a reality survival show called Girls Planet 999.
Okay.
And I actually followed a little bit of their journeys and it was a hard The editing of the show, I felt like sometimes it made it feel like they were out to edit certain girls certain ways to have
Oh,
certain
interesting.
storylines,
Okay.
and I thought I normally didn't see that in, Korean TV, but I felt like this one was a little bit obvious,
Okay.
where they sometimes edited girls to, like, have a bad performance,
Yeah.
but then
Ooh,
they show, like, a fan cam, which is like basically a master shot unedited of their performance. And I was like, oh, it didn't sound that bad, but they would insert people's like, ooh, reaction, like if they hit a bad
right.
note or something like that. And it felt like they did this more than any other survival shows that I've watched.
Interesting.
But nonetheless, these girls, these 9 members are the
Yeah.
product of that show, and I'm just so happy that they all debuted. They came out really strong with their first debut song.
Mhm.
Yeah. Zach Mendoza says Kepler is great, very EDM drop vibes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Okay.
then the 3rd song that I introduced Rocha to, which is
Yes.
actually a collaboration between the members of NCT and one sole member of aespa, Giselle, and they have a song called Zoo. And I literally that you kinda hear it a little bit
Yeah.
there.
A little bit. Yeah. Can't
So
play too much of it. We're just playing a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the DMCA rules and
Right.
YouTube, but literally, I was up late last night and I picked these songs because 'cause they've been in my head. These are the songs that
Oh,
can
wow.
so easily stick in your head,
Right.
and especially not being fluent in Korean, I only have, like, the choruses or some of the English, lyrics
Yeah.
that get stuck in my head, so I literally went on TikTok last night and I tried to teach myself the zoo dance, just like a zoo, "Goo goo goo goo." Partying
Respect.
and feeling
Respect.
young. Do, do, do.
You gotta
So
teach
those are the
yourself the
new songs.
peacemaker dance at some point. That's the
Oh
next
my gosh. Yes. I haven't shown it to Dustin. I wanna show it to him.
you gotta show I think, I'm getting on TikTok, so I may be the first thing I do may be the, peacemaker dance with the
Will
outlaw
you do it
mask
in the
on.
outlaw
Yeah.
mask?
Yeah.
Do it.
But
Do
yeah,
it.
this is great. I loved listening to these. I love the different approaches, and yeah, like you said, 9 members in one of those groups. That's the most I've seen from all the stuff you've sent me before. That's the most I've seen for one group myself personally. And then I'm curious with aespa, like it's only one person from aespa, so
Yeah.
you don't say the person's name as an artist. It is aespa who is
I
listed
guess
there. Is
I
that is
think
that something that's contractually obligated?
I think it's because and please, any of the fellow, like, netizens out
Mm.
there, correct me if I am wrong, but I believe aespa and NCT are both under the same
Oh, okay.
label, and
Gotcha, gotcha.
perhaps that's why they did the collab, but
Okay.
I think they were looking for a specific, uh like, you know how I said that all K-pop groups have, like, constructed everybody has a quote, unquote "job,"
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
whether you're the main dancer, rapper, visual, whatever, and so I think they have Giselle from aespa in
Mhm.
this because maybe they were looking for the female rapper.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
okay. Zach Mendoza coming in with the facts. The NCT
okay.
aespa collab was for a New Year's event concert from SM Entertainment.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
alright.
that's I was happy with the collab,
Mhm.
though I will say somebody released like a dance practice video
Right,
ahead of the performance, like the stage video, and it looked so good. Everybody's got masks on, so I don't know if it's actually NCT and Giselle in
right,
the dance practice video or not,
right.
but I felt just a little bit cheated in the stage because they sound great, and
Yeah,
obviously stage presentation because it's NCT, like, it's fantastic, but they changed up some of the staging and the choreo for certain parts, and maybe they did it because for performance and your stability when it comes to vocal, so
wow.
maybe they changed it within reason, but I
Okay.
thought they were gonna go hard for this one specific small part, and they didn't go hard for that well, other people did, but the person who was, singing and rapping didn't do the choreo with them, and I was like, "Oh, I wanted to see it everybody together," but
Right.
it's fine. It's a hot song. I like it. It slaps.
Okay, alright, I like it.
Mhm.
Alright, what else is there anything else on K-pop Corner?
Yeah, my one of my fave groups, Blackpink, people have
Ooh,
been
yes.
asking for a comeback. It's been a while, and every single time look, I love Blackpink. I think the members are so, so, so talented. But
Yeah.
there is this thing that YG does with them is whenever they do, a comeback,
Mhm.
it's a small, like 2, 3 song release, and then the girls disappear for like a whole year.
So it's like
And
an
I'm like,
EP and then they're gone.
Yeah, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I get it, the girls have, contracts for because 'cause
Mhm,
they're, brand ambassadors for all these fashion houses,
mhm.
Christian Dior, Chanel, I think
Yeah.
Lisa has Celine and Rosé is, YSL and a ton of other appearances that they were making. So I get it, and they've all had their, solo debuts. Jisoo is currently, I think she may have wrapped, but she is currently in. She made her debut as a K drama actress
Oh, wow.
in, and you can actually watch it on Korean Disney Plus. So if you
Mhm.
don't have Korean Disney Plus, you have to use a VPN to watch, which is how I have to watch it. But she is fantastic in the K-drama. I always knew. I always thought that she's had the personality and just, like, kind of it sounds weird to say, but the face
Yeah.
for K-drama, like, I saw it. When I the first time I ever saw Blackpink, I was like, "Oh, this girl should be an actress as well."
Mhm.
So she's breaking out as an actress. So I get they're busy, with their other stuff, but they're first and foremost Blackpink.
Right.
And
Well,
so, I don't know, I was just hoping for more from them.
how do you watch the K-drama on the VPN? Do they have, because I watch
So
VPN for the UK stuff, but I don't need subtitles on the UK stuff. So do you watch it do they offer subtitles when you're watching it on VPN? English
mhm.
subtitles?
Mhm,
That's
because it's a
great.
Disney Plus, yeah, it's a Disney Plus thing. Or
Okay.
there's other you can search the internet, for some of
Yeah.
the other stuff, but those are kinda like fishy links, so I'd rather just do the
Yeah.
VPN
Yeah,
and
agreed. Yeah.
watch it that way, because I thought that we were gonna get it across the board, like, "Oh, they get K content, we get K content," and it's
Right.
not really the case, it's really regional, so you have to just switch your VPN to Korea
Oh,
and
okay.
watch it that way. Which
Okay.
is fine, I'll support it however however I need to support. I already paid for Disney Plus, so,
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
it looks like, just yesterday, there's this Samsung Securities researcher Choi Ming-ha predicted that Blackpink will resume its full-fledged activity mid-2022 along with other YG groups in Asia Today's report. And the
Wow.
financial report states that the Samsung Securities lowered its profit goals for the agency for the first half of the year due to artists' inactivity. And again, this is like a YG. I was like, why they have so many talented artists
Uh-huh.
under YG. Why are you not promoting them? Why are you
Yeah.
just like let the girls work, let the girls collab. They have probably so many songs sitting in there since debut that
Right.
have not been released because they are like, oh, it's like, here's two songs for this comeback. Here's whatever. Here's
Right.
mini album, mini album, mini album. Where we got Stray Kids over here releasing freaking Christmas album, full album, another comeback, and I'm just like, come on, this is Blackpink, let's go. So that's why a lot of people, because they were, I think, supposed to already have a comeback,
Right.
and it delayed it, and the fans got mad. They're like, "We're so thirsty, so ready for Blackpink content. You're not giving it to us." So hashtag stop delay the comeback or something like that was trending on Twitter. Stop delaying Blackpink.
Stop delaying Blackpink. Wow.
Because the fans are also worried because the girls have signed a 7-year contract since their debut, and that contract, I think, is up in 2022.
That is a lot. That is a lot.
So it's like, if they don't renew, does the group disband? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So many moving I mean, so many moving parts of this K-drama stuff. Pop stars just come out in the States and do stuff. This is a whole nother animal that you
Yep,
have to kind of adhere to with so many regulations. It's fascinating. Honestly, it's fascinating. Okay,
absolutely.
let's see. No Streamlabs have come through yet, but we did get a new subscriber, Stephanie C. Nawanda.
Thank
Nawando.
you.
Thank you. So, yeah, please, if you haven't followed or subscribed to the Outlaw Nation on Twitch, feel free to do so. Whether you're watching us live right now or watching it later, and if you're watching it later on YouTube as well, which I put the unlive version on there, the pre-recorded version on there, please hit subscribe down below on the YouTube channel as well and hit that bell button. All right, Wendy,
Mhm.
where are we off to next? We're running out of time here. The
Ah,
hour is
yes.
speeding by.
I
What do
know,
we
it's
got?
short. Let's go into this big news. When I heard it, my jaw hit the floor because I wasn't expecting it. But and because
Yeah.
you and I here, we've talked about some of the controversy
Yes.
that's come out from Blizzard slash Activision. So this just happened a few days ago.
Mhm.
Um, so the Microsoft has agreed to buy Activision Blizzard for almost $70 billion. Now I believe it has not been finalized, but it
Mhm.
looks like it's probably going to head in that direction.
Mhm.
Um And I think that's so the actual number is $68.7 billion.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for Activision and Blizzard? Does that mean all of their games come under Microsoft? Because some of the games right now that's by Activision Blizzard are under the Sony. So do they just take that away, or do they do both and you can see it in the Microsoft store as well as you'll still see it in the PlayStation store?
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't think they can release any sort of statements like that yet,
Mhm.
because the deal hasn't been finalized.
Right.
But yeah, this was huge. And
Yeah.
I think considering the kind of news, just this is my personal opinion, the kind of news and the allegations that Activision and Blizzard has
Right.
had, I think maybe the CEO is probably better off just selling it to Microsoft and
Yeah, I mean,
maybe stepping away from the whole thing
it's
because
a
of
way of saving the brand.
yes.
And they've created so many great games, Call of Duty, Angry Birds, a lot of the things come to mind, and they
Mhm.
made so much money doing what they're doing. But yeah, this sexual harassment scandal threatened to absolutely stain the brand forever going forward. And a lot of female employees didn't want to come work there if it was,
Mhm.
staying under the management. Even with I think the CEO or whoever was stepped down, who was in charge of it eventually because of all the backlash against the company. So this kind of paves the way. That being said, though, and the New York Times brings up a great point as they're breaking this deal down, talking about the fact that, well, look, Republicans, Democrats, and we deal with the reality here, have both spoken about limiting the access and the power of these technology giants. If this deal goes through, it puts Microsoft immediately in third place here in the list of people, on the list of companies that have that are valued in terms of their power in the gaming sphere, in the online sphere, in the technology sphere. They'd be valued at $2.3 trillion if this thing goes through. So it's massive. So, Sony PlayStation is still number one. Sony with the video, that's always still number one. But
Yes.
Xbox has been slowly chipping away at the Sony lead here. And this would absolutely vault them into an even stronger position with, as you said, Wendy, a library of games that have been established with the numerous people that they can move into updating or use as influence to create new games to appeal to those same people who are into it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wow, that's crazy. And I'm just reading a tweet from Phil Spencer, who
Mm.
is the Microsoft Gaming CEO,
Yeah.
talking about, how we were just talking about what games are going to do so all the games now become exclusive Microsoft, or are they going to keep some of them where they are, especially some of the more popular games like Call of
Right.
Duty, which is a famous, like, it's on the PlayStation. So like
Yeah.
I think that would tick off a lot of players if you just took it off PlayStation and be like,
Yeah.
sorry, it's Microsoft now. So the tweet says from Phil Spencer's account, had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirm our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship.
Yeah. That's good.
So I think that's pretty clear cut
Yeah.
that
That's true.
it's not going to become exclusively Microsoft, which again, it would tick off so many people.
Yeah, yeah,
I
agreed.
think if you did that, it's like that's not the great way to start your acquisition.
Yeah, making things exclusive in this manner, I think, wouldn't be a
Mhm.
positive move. But I think having Microsoft come in, there's all kinds of resources now that Blizzard and the people working who will remain. I don't think everybody's going to survive that acquisition once it happens, but the ones who remain will now have resources from which to
Mhm.
draw from to create their games, and we'll see what culture Microsoft brings to Activision, brings to Activision Blizzard, in enforcing their approach to games, their approach to creating things, and of course to ward off the sexual harassment situation as well. So crazy, crazy, yeah. And then MK Somberg, great point. Completely forgot that Microsoft bought Bethesda last year as well. Yeah, they've been slowly kind
Oh,
of
wait, are they
acquiring.
allowed to buy another one?
This is what's going to have to be run by the federal government, and they
Yeah,
have
they
to
have to
approve
check
the
that.
sale, which will take a bit for
I
sure.
remember when Disney was trying to buy uh Luke, no, who were they trying to buy? Universe? Nope. They were trying to acquire, they already had ABC.
Right.
So who was it that they were trying to buy?
I don't
The,
recall right now offhand.
oh, Fox.
Fox. Oh, okay.
They were trying to buy Fox, and I remember hearing about this in the Bob Iger book that they had to wait.
Yeah.
For that confirmation that they had to go through all the checks to make sure that they didn't have like complete monopoly. So as of right now, I think Disney like couldn't purchase like another big movie studio or like news. Like if they wanted to one day like acquire Universal, like they couldn't do it.
Okay.
Which is why Comcast I think has them.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick is the one who was saying that there were calls for him to step down. There, he was Activision's longtime chief executive, but he's not stepping down. He was there with the deal. And here's something ironic and interesting, Wendy. The Microsoft was the head of Microsoft or CEO here. Said they're claiming it's a bit of an about face because Mr. Spencer wrote in November that Microsoft that he was, quote, disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision in response to those harassment allegations. But he appeared just a couple of days ago next to Mr. Kotick there from Activision Blizzard as they announced this deal. So clearly money spoke in this situation. I think they're all going to put the best face on this that they can, because this could blow up in their face, in Microsoft's face, that they're buying a company that is under these sexual harassment allegations and all these situations. And if they don't turn it around and there are new allegations while they're under the Microsoft window or Microsoft banner, there could be issues going forward that could taint Microsoft. So it's a dangerous game they're playing here with this acquisition, but you understand why they're trying to do it, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like maybe he's kind of like, and who knows what kind of talk is going on behind closed doors. Maybe the CEO of Activision Blizzard was like, maybe I need to like step down.
I don't know. Maybe this is a way of like smoothly transitioning him out.
Yes. And maybe Microsoft was like, let me pick up the phone and be like, look, you're kind of like in this whole thing. It looks not great for you. What do you think if I bought your company? And then we can just pay you a nice severance pay.
Yeah, a nice severance package that some people will be upset about, but eventually the fact that you're gone, that'll be more important than what we paid you.
So we can actually not have a toxic workplace for people.
Very possible.
That'd be great. So we'll see. We'll, keep our eyes on this, and we'll report right here on the show
for sure
if anything comes about. And there's 2 more bullet points before we end the show, and I think we can do this in 4 minutes.
Let's do it.
So, ironically, you were talking about, the programming for Prime Video. This next upcoming animated series I'm very, very excited for. It is called The Legend of Vox Machina, and it is actually a Kickstarter project that started by Critical Role and its critters to turn their first year campaign, which is called just Vox Machina, into an animated series. It is rated Ma for mature. So like if you've got kids, don't think like, oh, a D&D cartoon, let me have my kids watch. No, this is going to be like Invincible type of gore. So just make sure we know that going in. But they're very excited for this, and they have just released the remaining voice cast for the show, not including all the main characters, such as like Laura Bailey, Travis Willington, and etc. So the voice cast that's playing some of the NPC players from the campaign includes, this is what they got. They got David Tennant. They got Gina Torres. They got Dominic Monaghan. They got Stephen Root. And there's a couple of other names that I can't think of, but are very prominent in the VO community. You probably have heard them in video games, in other animated shows. So this is very exciting. And the series actually premieres on the 28th of January. So you believe in me, I will be tuning in.
Yeah, I was sent all the episodes, or I was sent the episodes for press earlier this week.
6 episodes.
6, right? Okay, I haven't watched them yet. Are you saying?
You should absolutely watch it. And plus, you want to get ahead because they're releasing 3 episodes per week.
Woo! All right, Wendy.
So technically, if they sent us 2 episodes, 6 episodes, it's only 2 weeks of content.
Remember when we had like a 2-week break here in January? It's all starting to ramp up, ladies and gentlemen. It is all like
it's gone.
Yeah, like today, I was like, what do I want to do on the channel? Oh, I'll do a Super Bowl halftime reaction show. Oh, did you know Mary Elizabeth Winstead got cast? Did you know Mission Impossible got delayed? Did you know that what else just broke here recently?
Oh yeah, you texted me about it. Hold on, let me pull up our text.
Crazy all this stuff. Vox Machina is happening. It's
You
crazy. All
said
this.
8 8 are pushed. The text came through weird.
Yeah,
Am
7
I
and 8.
Oh, yeah, they're both pushed.
Yeah, yeah. So all this stuff is starting to happen and starting to come down the trail here, for God's sake. So, so much. All right. We'll look for that one. The 28th, as Wendy said, the January 28th. And if you're a Critical Role fan, be very curious to see them expanding their empire into animation now. It seems logical, right? The next steps seem logical to do.
And they're all voiceover actors.
Yeah.
Like literally the tagline is a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors played D&D together. We play Dungeons and Dragons. All right. The final piece of news, little music news. Get ready for an all-star Super Bowl halftime for 2022. Dr. Dre put in the call, and he is pulling in. This is like the Avengers coming together.
Basically, yeah.
Eminem is coming in to do this because when Dr. Dre calls, you don't say no. That's how I feel, anyways. Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar all coming in. This is going to be a kick-ass halftime show. I hadn't been so excited about a halftime show in a long time. This is going to be really cool.
Look at that lineup.
Holy crap.
That lineup is just, there are so many hits in that lineup, so many, so much money in that lineup, so many awards in that lineup, so much great music in that lineup. It's insane. I mean, I swear to God, I was like roaming around wondering what to talk. And then I saw this trailer ad for the trailer that dropped yesterday. And I'm like, how many views? 3.5 million views on this trailer. Holy shit. So I was like, all right, I haven't done a trailer reaction to a Super Bowl halftime trailer ever. So I recorded one about 2 hours before our show. It's up on the channel now. Just having
How's it looking?
Fun. And it was great. It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds and it flies by, and you hear all the old hits with some new stuff sprinkled in, and all of them get a chance to shine throughout the trailer. Looks badass. I mean, I'm almost looking forward more to this than the game, depending on who. So
who's playing in the game?
I don't know yet. We're still in the playoffs, so we don't know.
Who do you think is going to play in the game?
I
know Packers, it's probably too early to predict.
And the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to be Bills.
Really?
Yeah. Unless Tom Brady can pull another old-ass miracle out of his butt, I just think the Packers are.
I feel like I've been hearing the Patriots in the games forever.
Yeah, but
it's always them.
But Tom Brady's with the Buccaneers now, so I mean, we'll see if he takes the Buccaneers, but I definitely am on the side of the Bills. I think they're ready to take the Chiefs this weekend, which I will be doing watch-alongs, I think two or three games this weekend on the Outlaw Nation Twitch, on this channel, on the Outlaw Nation Twitch channel. I will be doing some watch-alongs, and so many of you joined me last week, which I appreciate. So look for that announcements coming up.
He's got alerts set up now, so.
Oh, shiznit. Oh. That's right. All right, Wendy, anything more to say on this?
That is it. That is it. We will be back next week with more news, more K-pop, more what's trending, more headlines, and hopefully more news on this Mary Elizabeth Winstead casting.
Yeah, right. We'll find out who she might be playing and what have you. Real quick, so we still have a couple minutes. What do you recommend? Anything or what, have you seen anything or exciting about anything coming up? Go ahead, please.
I've been stuck on, this isn't new. This has been on Netflix for a couple of weeks now, but it's K content because that's what I'm all about these days.
Yeah.
There's a show, unscripted reality. It's called Singles Inferno, and it's a dating show where you have all the men and women.
Yeah.
They are on this deserted island, and it's almost like Survivor because they don't just have food and drinks delivered to them like too hot to handle. They have just like food and drinks.
Right.
You have to, you don't have to hunt and like gather your own food. They have them, but it is raw ingredient. Like here's raw potatoes, vegetables, and you have to cook. And it's not even gas stove. They have this like older, more traditional cauldron looking thing that you have to cook in.
Right.
But you play these games and you build connections, and the men and women can choose if they happen to match up because they happen to choose each other. They can go and get away from the island for a night, and they go to quote unquote paradise, which is a very nice hotel. They get a presidential suite. There's showers, there's a bed, there's tubs, and just trying to see who picks who makes a connection. I certainly have my faves and my not so faves in this game, in this show. And I think I have maybe 1 or 2 more episodes left to watch. It's just addicting. It's just, one of those shows where you turn off your brain. You just watch other people live out their lives for a little bit.
There you go. Good stuff. All right. I'll put that on the list.
Do it.
I'm tearing through a Search Party right now, as I mentioned earlier. That's what I'm watching right now on HBO Max. My girlfriend and I have just Shannon McClung, my fellow geek buddy, recommended it. We started season 1, I think, on Monday or
Mm,
Sunday, and we
mm.
ripped through that. We jumped into season 2 immediately, ripped through that, jumped through 3. 3 we did in like a night and a half and a quarter or something like that. And now we're 2 episodes or 3 episodes into season 4. Highly recommend Search Party. Aaliyah Shawkat, the maybe in Arrested Development, she's incredible as a lead here, and a protagonist that will test your feelings about that person, because she does some good stuff and she does some really narcissistic, self-involved, crazy stuff, and you're not sure where to land with her, and it's a challenging show in that way. And I think that's what's brilliant about it. I know season 5 dropped, I think, a week or 2 ago, so I can't wait to rip through season 4 so we can get to season 5 and see where we're at. So I recommend that on HBO Max. Some great actors involved in this, some great up and coming actors involved in this, well, and getting cameos from like Louie Anderson and a number of other actors who've popped in to play smaller roles or part-time roles, like Christine Taylor, who is Ben Stiller's wife. She's in here as a recurring character. So there's a lot to enjoy here. They're 10 episodes a season, but they're 22, 21 minutes each episode. So you can literally rip it out in a night per season if you wanted to. We have to go slower because she likes to limit me, which drives me insane because I'm an addict to streaming stuff. So anyway, all right, there you go. That's our show. We should get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the John and Wendy Show as we begin 2022 with the new graphics, the new look, the new style. Let us know what you thought of it. If when you're watching later on YouTube, let us know what you thought of it in the comments section below. Wendy, where can they find you and everything you got going on in your world?
So much stuff going on. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at just my name at Wendy Lee Zaney, that John so kindly put down there. And also you can follow us the Movie Couple on YouTube, where we talk the Book of Boba Fett, trailer reactions, some show reactions are coming. We're going to be definitely reacting to episodes of The Legend of Vox Machina, because Dustin and I are both fans of Critical Role, so we'll be doing just that. We're going through Cobra Kai right now. I think we're about to watch episode 5 and 6 and do reactions for those.
Nice.
So those are up on the channel. Just a little bit more reaction heavy for now, because there's a little bit less movies to review. Like, I actually opted out of going to see Scream because Omicron scares me. So I decided, I don't regret it. It was probably better for my mental health that I didn't go. But hopefully coming up, more movies to come. Death on the Nile, that's the next movie that's probably going to screen. So very much looking forward to it. And then twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney, where you can watch me play scary games or cozy games.
There you go.
John, where can they follow you?
Always, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok now at The Rocha Says. There's one. I'm going to start adding like little pieces of my interviews with people that I've had over the years. I've seen other people in the sphere do that as a way of building up numbers, which I appreciate. It's less about me doing dances or doing weird content where I'm pointing at things and yelling into the camera. It's more about kind of highlighting everything got going on in the Outlaw Nation universe, in the Outlaw Nation show. All of that happening there as well. And of course on Twitch, subscribe here, follow and subscribe to me here on Twitch as we're doing it live. And then the channel down below, hit on YouTube, subscribe and hit that bell. But we're trying to get to that 25,000 subscribers mark as soon as possible. So help us do that if you enjoy everything we got going on here. Geek Buddies coming out. We're going to have the Boba Fett review coming out tomorrow. We're also going to do a Peacemaker episodes 1 through 4 review with the Geek Buddies. It'll come out on Sunday. So that's all happening this weekend as well. And today, before we started the show, I got an email from a couple of publicists because I kind of highlighted this on Twitter that I was excited about this. Toshiro Mifune is having a festival done in New York starting February 11th through March 30th through Film Comment, and their publicist reached out to me and asked me if I would cover it with some streamable links. So I will absolutely be watching some old school Toshiro Mifune films that I've never seen that will be streamed through the Criterion website there, and they've sent me all the links to them now. So I will spend some time watching them, and my content will start going up in the middle of February to tell you about it. If you're in New York, go see this festival. If they're practicing, of course, the social distancing, which I imagine they are, go and give some love to one of the greatest actors to ever walk the earth, Toshiro Mifune. So just giving you a little preview of what's coming up in my world. All right, that's it. We got to get out of here. You got much love to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.
Bye, everybody.